If you're flipping products on Amazon, then listen up, because these 3 types of products can destroy your profits, ruin your metrics, and even get your account suspended. I've seen new sellers lose hundreds, even thousands of dollars on these deals that look great but are actually a real trap. I'm going to show you exact examples of products to avoid and, more importantly, why they're so risky. Now, this isn't theory. This is based on over a decade of my own personal experience having sold on Amazon. So let's get into it. Okay, so product type number 1 is short date grocery products. The reason these are such a problem is because Amazon, if you're sending into FBA, has a restriction on your dates. The product has to have at least 6 months worth of shelf life on it to remain in the fulfillment centers. So if you're buying a product to resell on Amazon and it has a short date on it, then if it's got less than 6 months, Amazon's just going to return it to you. So realistically, products need to have at least 12 months or more in their shelf life in order to be sent in to have a chance of being sold. If it's got any less than that, then chances are it's going to get sent back. So on websites like this, we can find examples of products that have short dates on them and they're close to expiry that we can get a really, really good deal on. And it might look like they're great opportunities to profit from. And honestly, I've seen so many people fall prey to these without even realizing. They'll find themselves on a website here, they'll miss this bit here where the title says short date, or they'll be on a website and the product page is up and it shows a nice big discount, and in smaller lettering that's not overly visible, that it will say something along the lines of, this has a short date on it. Another way that people miss this is in retail stores. I do a lot of product sourcing physically inside retail stores, not just online, and I get caught out with this regularly, more regularly than I care to admit. I buy these products and I get home and I check the sell by date later and then realize it's too short. And the only real place for that is something like eBay. And of course, I'm having to sell it at a heavily discounted rate anyway, which means I probably won't make any money. So these products are only available at that price because they have a short date on them. So watch out for this, because they are a trap, they are a money pit, and you will lose money on them. But that doesn't mean to say that you should avoid grocery products. Here is what you should do. If there's no mention of an expiry date, then you can safely assume that it has a decent date on it. But if we wanted to, for example, go and take a look at how many times per month the product is selling, it would give us an idea of how quickly we might be able to sell it out. So if you do have a year left and you're wondering, am I going to be able to sell this out within the 6 month period, then just head to the product listing. This is just one as an example here. I'm using a tool called BuyBot Pro now, which basically pulls back the curtain on a product and allows us to see how many times per month the product is selling, look at the competition and all that good stuff. So I can see that there are a number of different sellers on this listing. There are no FBA sellers because there's nothing here in green, but it's selling over 200 units a month. In fact, in April it sold 1,428 units. So based on that, I know I'd be able to sell it out quite quick. So if it had a shorter date on it and I could be competitively priced and get it in quickly, then it wouldn't be too much of a concern. But if it's a slower moving product and it has a very short date, like we're talking close to 6 months, then it should be avoided at all costs. So first product type there is short dated grocery products. The next product type I highly recommend avoiding is trending products. Now, you might remember the fidget spinner craze. Also, we had those popper toys where you pop the little bit of plastic in and out. Things like those, they have a trend. There's a wave that gets ridden by many sellers, but what eventually happens is it reaches a peak and then it just drops all the way off. And so many people got burned with this during this time. To this very day, I see market traders, people at my local car boot sales and flea markets, places like that, selling these things. Charity shops, thrift stores, even supermarkets, grocery stores still have this stuff in stock even years and years later. It's just sitting in their warehouses, taking up space, holding up their cash flow when it could be spent on other products. So if you see trending products like this, don't be fooled into investing. It's very, very easy to get caught up in the hype. And if you look back at Google Trends, at any of these trends that were going at any period, you'll see that there was a big spike and then it drops off. And again, people got burned for thousands and thousands of dollars. The only way this really makes money is if you catch the trend a little bit early, you import the product from China with your own branding on it and your own swing on it, then you could probably make some money. But even then, I saw lots of people get caught out. So trending products like this, in my opinion, should be avoided because they're just traps for cash flow to get stuck. You'll end up ordering way more units than you need and you'll be stuck with them forever more. So product type number 2 is trending products. By all means, ride the wave if you can, but order in small quantities and don't get caught out by the fidget spinner. Okay, and the third and final product type is consumer electronics over $500. Now, you might be wondering why I've got this here, because they are very attractive products for many resellers. The reason I've got them in here is because I've stopped selling anything over $500. The reason for that is because of the higher returns rates. So if you're brand new to selling on Amazon, or you're just getting started, or maybe you've even been at it a little while, you might have experienced this yourselves. Products that have a higher ticket price point are more likely to get returned, especially consumer electronics, home appliances and stuff like that. There are two main reasons that I've identified for this. Number one, buyer's remorse. So most people live paycheck to paycheck, especially those people who are shopping on Amazon. They buy stuff on an impulse, and then later toward the end of the month, when it's getting close to payday but not quite close enough, they've run out of money and they're looking at what they've got, what they've purchased during that month that they could return, get a refund on, so that they can kind of survive the next week or so. First things that get put on those returns lists are expensive coffee machines, juicers, blenders, all singing, all dancing home electronics that we just simply do not need. So those types of things, they get returned very often for that reason. The second reason, and this one is very, very dishonest, but let's face it, it happens. People doing what we call a switcheroo. So this is where someone might have owned a product like this coffee machine, for let's say the last 5 years, and it's suddenly broken down, it doesn't work anymore, but it's still being sold on Amazon. So what they do is they go ahead and buy it, they receive it, they take the good brand new one out of the box and they keep that, they put their old shoddy broken one back in the box and they send it back to Amazon and claim that it doesn't work, or that it's faulty, or that something's wrong with it. Now obviously when we get this back as the seller, we can clearly see this is a very old product that's seen a lot of use, but they're challenging cases to fight. In many cases I've been able to get a full reimbursement, but it's not without weeks and months of back and forth emails and telephone calls with Amazon seller support to get my reimbursement. We do usually get there, but it's time, hassle, stress and money wasted that we could do without. So honestly, in my opinion, these are best avoided, and instead stick under the $500 mark and you'll be good to go. So those are the three types of products that I'd never flip, and why I see tons and tons of new sellers getting burnt left, right and center with these. Now if you've enjoyed this video, be sure to give it a like below. Also, if you have any questions, drop it in the comments section, and be sure to subscribe for more videos just like this one.